The 5th generation Volkswagen Caddy is a compact van that's new from the ground up, described as the Swiss Army knife of urban delivery vans. It's now more stylish but bigger inside, more economical and efficient, but also more car-like. Plus there's an advanced digital interior and a whole portfolio of safety systems. You won't have previously come across a compact SUV quite as advanced as this one. It's one thing for a compact van of this kind to look and feel like a car in the showroom, quite another to achieve the same effect out on the road. But this 5th generation Caddy really does. Not only because of the fancier dash, but in the way it rides the poorer surfaces that will be the norm within this van's expected urban remit. No Caddy ever previously rode like this because previous models were suspended on ancient leaf springs, a format Volkswagen persisted with far too long. Still, what's replaced that setup, a sophisticated core-sprung rear axle, does at least deliver class-leading ride suppleness of the sort that you'd perhaps be more likely to expect from a French fan in this segment. Make sure your test drive includes a few speed humps and you'll see what we mean. At first glance, less seems to be new beneath the bonnet. In most forms, this van continues with the 2-litre TDI diesel format that it's offered since 2015. But the engine in question is quite different in this Mark V model, now offering the brand's most efficient twin dosing technology and available with either 75 PS, 102 PS, or, as in this case, 122 PS. There's also a 1.5-litre TSI petrol engine with cylinder deactivation and 114 PS. As with the previous generation Caddy, manual versions of the top 122 PS diesel TDI model can also be ordered with full motion four-wheel drive. Whatever Caddy variant you choose through the bends, this Volkswagen doesn't feel quite as light on its feet as, say, a rival Ford Transit Connect, but you have to say that it's now probably a more complete proposition in terms of its all-round driving experience. Roll through the bends has been usefully reduced, and there's a stable demeanour on faster roads, offering a feel of real confidence at the wheel. What else? Well, avoid the base diesel or the petrol unit and you get a brake trailer capacity of up to 1,500 kilograms. It's worth pointing out that pulling potential of this magnitude is quite rare in this sector. Visually, the Caddy hasn't looked much different since the 3rd generation version was launched back in 2003. So the complete styling rethink for this Mark V model is somewhat refreshing. No contour or component having been left untouched, either on this standard short wheelbase model or on the alternative longer wheelbase Maxi variant, which is 353mm longer. As usual with most vans in this compact class, there's just this single standard roof height option. From the front, the higher bonnet line of this 5th generation model is a bit like that of a compact SUV, and the smarter radiator grille is enclosed, a bit like an EV. In profile, this 5th generation model's silhouette is a good deal more sculpted, with a double roofline disguising a 5mm height reduction, and a concave central shoulder line that deepens from the B-pillar backwards, emphasising this short wheelbase model's 92mm increase in length. It's perhaps from the rear that this Mark V Caddy is most recognisable as a completely new generation model. These slim, vertically arrayed tail lights, which smear their way up the black pillars, can feature LED illumination at the top of the range. Right, noting on the way that keyless access is now optional for Caddy owners, it's time to take a seat inside. If you're a Caddy regular, there'll be plenty to get used to here. Your main area of focus curves around your sightline, the section for the central infotainment screen flowing into the instrument binnacle layout, which you view through the spokes of a smartly redesigned capacitive steering wheel. This adjusts widely like the seats, which above base spec are of this ergo comfort kind, which means that they include electric lumbar support and armrest and have been approved by the AGR, the German Campaign for Healthy Backs Society. There's now the option of a digital cockpit instrument binnacle screen if you feel the need to upgrade from this conventional dial layout. The gauge is separated here by the usual little black and white trip computer screen. You can also pay extra for this big 10-inch Discover Media central infotainment display, an enhancement over the smaller 6.5 and 8.25-inch composition screens fitted further down the range. This middle monitor gets crystal clear graphics, an always connected built-in eSIM, Wi-Fi connectivity and much improved voice control. But the sliders below it for volume and temperature are fiddly to use, and climate functions are now screen-based. As you'd want, there's lots of cabin stowage space, notably at the base of the centre stack and between the seats. Plus both the door bins and the glove box are of a very decent size. Time to check out the loading bay, accessed by the usual asymmetrically opening rear doors. This left-hand one, larger than the one on the right, with both offering the usual retractable stays. Release these to open them out wider to 180 degrees. This is now one of the widest cargo areas in the compact van segment, thanks to the way that wall-to-wall cargo space width has increased by up to 57 millimetres to 1,614 millimetres. Plus there's 60 millimetres more width between the wheel arches, a maximum width of 1,230 millimetres, which means a Euro pallet can now be loaded in and turned sideways. You could even fit in 2 Euro pallets if they were of the smaller 800 by 1200 millimetre sort. Plus there's even more load area height, 1,272 millimetres of it in this short wheelbase model, despite a 25 millimetre drop in this van's exterior height. This 5th generation model's more sophisticated MQB platform has freed up a further 73 millimetres of wheelbase length, and that makes quite a lot of difference. In this short wheelbase model, cargo space length is 1,797 millimetres and total cargo capacity is 3.1 cubic metres. The lengthier Caddy Maxi body shape has a wheelbase that's 215 millimetres lengthier and can offer 2,150 millimetres of cargo space length as part of a total cargo capacity of 3.7 cubic metres. A Caddy Maxi can swallow 2 Euro pallets, even if they're of the larger 1,000 by 1,200 millimetre kind. All of this should give most operators the space they need, but it is worth pointing out that the competing Citroën Berlingo, Peugeot Partner, Vauxhall Combo Cargo, Toyota ProAce City design can offer up to 4.3 cubic metres of space in its longest form. Those competing models, like the latest Renault Kangoo, can also take up to a tonne in payload. With the Ford Transit Connect, the figure is nearly as good, up to 967 kilograms. For the Caddy Cargo, though, the payload figures are restricted to a max of 700 kilograms for this short wheelbase model, or 780 kilograms for the Caddy Maxi. You'll have to decide how significant that shortfall might be to your business. While we're talking weights, we'll also tell you that up to 100 kilograms can be transported on the roof, and that providing you avoid the petrol engine and the base 75 PS diesel, this Volkswagen can tow a brake trailer of up to 1,500 kilograms in weight. Gross vehicle weights, by the way, vary between 2,150 kilograms and 2,350 kilograms for this standard version, and between 2,250 and 2,400 kilograms for the Maxi model. Okay, enough on weight, let's move to the side. Now, you wouldn't expect to be able to load Euro pallets of any kind in from the side door with this short wheelbase model. This aperture is 703 millimetres in width and 1,096 millimetres in height. But you can now load a smaller 800 by 1200 millimetre Euro pallet in through the side door with a Caddy Maxi, thanks to a big increase in the size of that variant's side door. It's now 846 millimetres in width, up from 701 millimetres before. Get inside and you'll find the usual sturdy bulkhead and the normal floor tie-down points. There are 6 silver ones provided. The central overhead light up here seems somewhat old-fashioned and dim though, and you don't get it at all with base spec trim. You'd think an LED light would be fitted in this day and age, a feature that can't even be had as an extra on normal models. Alright, So this Volkswagen's reasonably practical, but how will its running costs add up? Let's get to the WLTP rated fuel and emissions figures. All three of the 2-litre TDI diesel engines record virtually the same figures. With manual transmission, you're looking at a combined cycle fuel best of up to 57.6 miles to the gallon and a CO2 best of up to 127 grams per kilometre. With DSG Auto transmission, the 122 PS model manages up to 55.4 miles to the gallon and up to 135 grams per kilometre. And a 2-litre TDI 122 PS 4Motion manual variant manages up to 52.3 miles to the gallon and 141 grams per kilometre. If you'd prefer to wean your business off the black pump and therefore want the 1.5-litre TSI petrol variant, then the figures are up to 44.1 miles to the gallon and 145 grams per kilometre for the manual model and up to 42.2 miles to the gallon and 151 grams per kilometre for the DSG Auto. These readings enhanced by a cylinder deactivation system which deactivates two of the engine's 4 cylinders at low to medium throttle speeds. So that your business can keep a better track on its caddy costs, Volkswagen offers a WeConnect Fleet online platform accessible via PC, tablet or smartphone, which works as a fleet management system. Integrated into it are features like a digital logbook, a digital costs log, fleet driving efficiency data, GPS tracking and route information, a consumption analyzer and a maintenance management section. And in summary, well, there are, it's true, bigger and more affordable vans than this one in the compact LCV sector. We reckon, though, that many business operators in this segment, much of the time, would still rather have a Caddy. And that really says it all.